And welcome to the Raw Review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of Man and Hour. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review Raw, but also SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's Raw and all the fallout from Backlash.
Yeah. Since the Netflix debut, I've been sort of forecasting with a bit of sadness, like the beginning of the end of this current boom, this current creative golden era.
Prescient.
Yeah, I think so. And I really am. This is like, it's still good, but it's not the pig flying through the air with the apple in its mouth. It's like, it's still good. There was some good. It just feels a long way from great. I'm not fantasy booking things that feel massive. I'm not yet looking ahead to next year's wrestle. Well, I'm a little bit, I suppose, with
You always are, though.
Bron and Jacob. I never fully switch it off, but like, there are little tiny things that make you think that could still be massive, that could still be really cool. There is a whole like new raft of ideas just that haven't even been explored yet. It's not really that. This was good. This was a good Raw. Raw especially, I feel like I've had my old pleasant plotting since post WrestleMania with several of the characters, the new directions. I'm into it. I am, especially as opposed to SmackDown. You get SmackDown as a comparison. It's its own comparison piece. Like, did you get this ugly Raw? Like, because I'm watching SmackDown, but just good. And maybe I've raised my standards. Like, I'm just not seeing a lot of great, but I think there's plenty of good.
I'm bored, brother. I am bored. This was such an uninspiring Raw. So many familiar pairings, and like there's certain wrestlers where I just feel like the lights have gone out. Like the amount of stuff that's just defiantly uninteresting is how I would describe this Raw. Like, defiantly uninteresting. We're doing this again. We're still doing this. We've picked that back up. This again. Part of me wants to say the worst of Triple H's bland competence. But my God, I think there's some like logic to chip away at in certain areas. And just it's the same show I was watching 3 months ago, it feels like. It is the same show I was watching 2 to 3 months ago. It's one thing to do, all right, it's Backlash. I mean, they don't have to do it. It's not the law that you have to do Backlash. But, like, was there any real WrestleMania rematch stuff at Backlash?
Just Penta and Dom. That was the
Penta
only
and
one
Dom. Penta and Dom were in a four-way and then a singles match. So a four-way became a one-on-one, and a one-on-one got folded into a four-way. So it wasn't like the WrestleMania main event again, which was used to be the Backlash calling card. This is more Backlash than Backlash. This episode of Raw and the threat, I was going to say the promise there, the threat of the weeks to come. I just couldn't be arsed watching this. I was very, very, very bored.
I'll tell you something that hasn't happened in a while, or I haven't noticed it in a while like I did last night. They're still getting the big houses. This was a quiet.
Oh,
crowd.
God,
were they Louisville last night?
Yes.
Yeah.
The KFC
Yum Center, I think it was called.
Yeah. Close. They were quiet, and the big houses still need noise. Otherwise, you may as well have like 2,000 people in.
Might as well be a bloody Evolve.
Indeed.
How is that on telly? Have you seen some of this Evolve stuff?
Just the clips on Twitter.
I mean, it's unbelievably bad.
Watch it.
Unbelievably bad. Like, Nikita Lyons is goated, by the way.
She's owning it now, isn't she?
It's a self-aware. She has discovered sentience.
Just hammering the taunt button before the match.
Storyline where everything is so basically Stevie Turner is Ava.
She's the assistant too, isn't she? That's her role. Like, Ava
then it's just the Evolve, and she's just playing. She's just Ava, as if it's like, all right, well, you know, we should get someone to play Mr. McMahon because that's a really successful model. No, it isn't. You don't need an Ava. You don't even need the Ava, if anything.
First thing of WrestleMania season. Who's our Ava?
So I'm watching Nikita Lyons and someone set up a match by talking to Ava and whatever, and it's just this NXT, but even more grim. And my God, there was a program.
Maybe I should check out this Evolve.
Recommendation to you.
Kylie Ray accused Wendy Chu of breaking into her home and stealing a kid's toy.
Jesus.
Teddy bear or something. Don't pretend to be scared or I'll knock you clean out.
This sounds like, to be absolutely fair to his tastes, this sounds like what you have campaigned for more of on NXT. You know, when you're like, I just don't think they've got that dog in them anymore. What that dog is Kylie Ray breaking in. When did you break into Kylie Ray's house? If that was happening on NXT, you'd be like, it's back.
Yeah, you're right. This show sounds terrible. Where do I need to go to watch it again?
Is it just
Hulu or Tubi or one
Oh,
of
Hulu,
them,
yeah, something
made-up
like
channels
that.
that Twitter. Just look on Twitter.
I've seen the Nikita stuff.
All things aggregated into clips for Twitter.
LA. Which one are you doing? Which taunt? What are you?
Certified asshole.
This Raw. I enjoyed this Raw.
No, you didn't.
I did. I really, really do like this new Dangerous Alliance storyline with Seth Rollins. And Punk's the best, obviously.
I like it.
There was a tease of
It's uninspired.
something very exciting coming in the future as well that I liked on this show. And, we'll get into it. Well, let's start at the beginning of the show. CM Punk comes out, does a nice point to this guy.
Start at the end, get an early lunch.
Point to this guy. Tribute to Sabu.
That sounds like Triple H doing his work in there.
Yeah.
Work up to 4 to 6 hours on this.
Right, that's lunch.
It's just there with like Bruce Pritchard and that Michael Cole. Well, the best ones didn't turn up. You get a lovely drop at the Gardener's Arms.
Punk can't shake being pissed off. He's got a long list of people to be pissed off at, but he's number one. He says he's mad at himself because he and Paul Heyman have been here before. Not exactly the first time he stabbed him in the back. That's on him. He likes to trust his friends. Let's not forget when Heyman smashed his head with a ladder 12 years ago and left him with 13 staples in his head. He thought that they'd moved past that because they'd matured as human beings, but Heyman clearly didn't. Gave a nod to Jey Uso, who warned him about Paul Heyman. But Heyman was who he always was, a fat little snake, he said.
That was quite good.
He also called Seth Rollins a Timu CM
Seth
Punk.
Rollins.
Yes.
Who's that?
He couldn't wait to get his hands on Heyman's fat neck and squeeze until his eyeballs popped. That was a good line. Out comes Paul Heyman, and Punk called him the Penguin and said, get on with it and choose your words wisely because they could be your last. And he's joined, Paul Heyman, by Bron Breakker and Seth Rollins, of course. As the song is going, by the way, I heard Punk yell over the top of it. You're just a song kid. At some point, the bell's got to ring. God, he's the best.
He loves those digs as the music's playing, doesn't he?
Trying to eat Seth Rollins alive.
Yeah.
Rollins said...
It's a running gag. I love how he's just like, it's not cruel and it's not counterproductive and it's not unprofessional because I do it every week. I like how he's trying to like...
People paid to see this. Seth. I don't want to, actually, but understand the situation I created.
Rollins said Punk found a way to be even more egotistical. Heyman was his best friend, but he made his life hell on the road to WrestleMania. Heyman believed in Punk when no one else did. Rollins called Punk human excrement, said he'd be champion if not for Punk. Punk said, you'll be never be champion as long as I'm on 2 feet. And Seth Rollins replies, what's your deal, man? Do you love punishment? You love suffering? Love being on the wrong side of history? Wait, I get it.
Do you love feuding with me every week? Do you know what I mean?
I think I made that clear, Seth.
You love to play the victim. Cry me a river, he said.
No pap. Never a pap.
Never a pap.
Nobody gives a goddamn it about this thing.
Stop doing it, actually.
At least it wasn't Punk for once.
Yeah.
Punk made him say it. That's a total lie. I don't know. I really don't know.
Throw that in. I bloody love that.
It's just our podcasts are recorded for entertainment purposes.
Yes. You so desperately want to be a victim, Punk. You want to die a martyr. Well, I believe that can be arranged. And then he just takes the leash off Bron Breakker, who comes down. Punk brawls with Bron, but the numbers game obviously catches up to him because Seth gets involved as well. Then Sami Zayn runs in to make the save, but Bron suplexes him. Then in comes world champion Jey Uso. Again, it's individual, so they're getting beaten up, but eventually the heels have to scarper with Punk calling them mother effers because there's still three of them, 3-on-3. I mean, Paul Heyman would have been the third man. But yeah, Punk and Zayn chase him off with chairs.
Same thing as usual for me. CM Punk's the difference. Like, CM Punk is the difference. I love the goodies and the baddies at the end of all of this. Like, really, really like the battle lines between these two. It's like Seth Rollins was the weakest out there. His delivery and his lines and his... this is why I'm situational Seth guy, because I sometimes find him palatable and then sometimes remember that I'm watching probably like the ultimate soldier. And there was like too many lines that were like, oh, come on, mate. And it's particularly when he's out there with CM Punk, because Punk either turns those ones down as they're scripting stuff, or he just says, I can probably say that in a way that sounds more human. That's like, no, I got that. And
the brilliant Scott Carlson, who does Ups and Downs, which I believe you edited today,
yes.
I thought nailed this as well by saying, Seth comes out and says all this stuff, you're human excrement, etc., etc.
Human excrement.
I mean, what are we doing with that?
Punk just fires back, you'll never be champion as long as I'm on 2 feet.
Yeah.
In that sentence, compared to everything Seth says.
There's an Austin Brett bit in that feud where Brett's like, I'm being arrogant heel. I'm done with you, Steve. I beat you at WrestleMania. I'm done with you. And Austin's like, it'll never be over as long as I'm breathing air. And it's that sort of thing like that lays out the stakes for that character as long as that character wants. I just really like, this is where I like disagree slightly with Sidge. This doesn't feel like the road to WrestleMania. This does feel brand new. I'm really, really into these battle lines. I'm glad we got the tag match. I love that they're slow playing this Sami Zayn thing. Like, you watch, my eyes are glued to
And
Sami
the third
Zayn.
man thing.
Yeah, like there is a third man coming to the stable, but my eyes are glued to Sami Zayn. Like, he's looking at both guys. We already, like, had they not done that post WrestleMania,
They've drawn some cute connections and they've earned this story, I suppose.
Yeah, like, had they not done that post WrestleMania thing with Jey Uso, you just have Sami Zayn as the straight up babyface out to help Jey, and you'd be looking more at him and Punk's relationship. Now you're already waiting for that to implode because Sami's eyes are on the prize too. Like, you can forecast it, and you should be able to. Like, the idea that Sami's gonna say, what do you mean? What are you taking his side for, Jey? And it just becomes this idea that Punk's always the guy that pollutes the water, but in fact, it's Sami Zayn's thirst for that title that he's trying to suppress while it's on Jey, and he's probably going to lose the tag match, isn't he?
Oh, yeah.
You see him getting pinned by Bron Breakker in that tag match, for example.
I saw people tweeting the clip of Punk doing the promo in the crowd that they do, where he said, it was, I think, ahead of their match, Sami's not on my level.
Yeah.
It's like, he's not forgotten that.
Aye. And then, but the few times that they've interacted since, Punk comes out and saves Sami. So Sami hasn't forgotten that, but Punk will forget that he said it. He's like, well, what did I do? And it's like, well, that. And by the way, I want the world title. But all of that's going to get mixed up. I like this, like, main event scene.
I'm not getting anything new other than Seth has turned heel, because I still find it to be, yes, so the fictional arrangement of these scenes is that the heels are, and Seth Rollins is now, ganging up on Punk with Bron Breakker. So he is playing a heel, right? I'm not trying to be too disingenuous by saying, oh, nothing's changed, because evidently things have changed. The verbal interplay, the tone, the things that they are saying to each other is identical to what I've been hearing since, not just December, since, November 2023 did Punk return?
Yeah. Him and Seth had the interaction. It was like either late December, early January, that first, I've
felt like I've heard variations of the same thing said, volleyed back and forth between CM Punk and Seth Rollins for, like, years at this point. Punk is still doing his, like, talking over, reducing Seth, saying that he's basically saying you're a fake wrestler and you're boring. That's basically the crux of CM Punk's beef with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins' beef with CM Punk is he's so woefully articulated here. You are human excrement. He's saying that you're a piece of shit, don't want you here, you're an arsehole, you're toxic, da-da-da. And yes, they have applied what Seth has been saying about Punk all along, and Seth is now saying, you've proven me right. I understand there's been development here. You've proven me right by the way that you interacted with Heyman on the build to WrestleMania and stuff. In doing so, he hardly clarifies this new dynamic of, right, they stop being tweeners, who they split the crowd, They're both baby faces, but they've got an edge and they're shooting on each other. Like, rather than clarify that with a new, right, babyface versus heel, this program's got a new complexion. That means we can sort of not justify doing it, but we've earned a continuation. Like, Seth saying that Punk was a dick to Heyman is not untrue, and it's just doesn't really sort of solidify. It's always going to be a problem with me, CM Punk is a babyface, right? It just is. But what Seth Rollins has said to Punk about the way Punk treated Heyman was completely accurate. I don't see Punk as the big babyface out of this betrayal angle whatsoever.
He used him at Needle Roman. He used him at Needle Roman, didn't he?
In his eyes, though, he was just reuniting a friendship.
Yeah.
I suppose. So it's
He's a manipulative guy.
Yeah.
It's not really great babyface virtuous behavior. Therefore, weeks removed from it, I can't receive CM Punk as this honest to goodness babyface. I just can't. I've got PDS. This has been well established. I've been open and candid with it. But if you go back and trace, rewind on the timeline, like, this whole triple threat match didn't really happen really as a big conflict between all these various players. And where the hell's Roman Reigns and who misses him and who cares? It was to engineer transparently this Heyman-Seth Rollins partnership. That's what it built to. And now that we've got it, I just don't really see this big babyface versus heel program. And here's something else on this. I'll let you get a riposte momentarily.
You'll react to my riposte.
Yes.
He's too smart for his own good.
He was, wasn't he? Or not smart as he thought he was.
Yeah.
Paul Smith, Maximo Park. Great first album.
Yep.
Is we were aggregating
That's what we do.
a couple of weeks ago.
Don't report a goddamn thing.
And then we pod, and then we
reported two things and nobody ever believed him, so we stopped reporting things.
Well, one thing CM Punk related that one of us reported. And,
Reported. Said it.
Said it.
Said it every week. I'm on the
said every week and put my journalistic reputation on the line. I'd like to add that.
And then what would happen is you would do a bit about it if it didn't come true, a la Dean Ambrose leaving WWE being a work.
Well, let it play out.
Shut up, man.
I can't share my sources ahead of time because I don't want to spoil everyone's fun.
Right, okay.
It's the worst thing in AEW right now.
So we aggregated about a fortnight ago. Oh, sorry, Americans hate that word.
Did they?
Yeah.
Pretentious Brits. What's a fortnight? What are you, from the 17th century?
Bi-weekly?
Bi-weekly? I don't know what they say, but they don't like fortnight. Remember, Hamflett got his ass chewed out in the comments
What
section.
is this, medieval times?
Fortnight?
Hey,
what is this? What are you, King Arthur? You
Drink your mead, you flag shagor.
why don't you get gout and then get out of my face? You pretentious, slimy asshole.
Take your sword and shield and off.
Why don't you
Go slay some dragons, George.
you are the plague. You bubonic ass face. He got buried for saying the word fortnight. So a fortnight ago,
It's a game, asshole.
I know you're too busy hunting it and eating it.
Starting you great fires of London to notice that it's a game for the Xbox, asshole. Not a period of time. It's not an Eastern time or Pacific time or Mountain time. It's a game.
It's a game. It's called Fortnite. So we aggregated a fortnight ago. Good bit. Hamflett's Henry VIII. Actually, I've ever seen Hamflett and Henry VIII in the same room. Anyway.
You chopping down a big turkey leg.
Meat. That's pot meat after. Anyway, so a fortnight ago we aggregated that rather than draw comparisons with Evolution, the Dangerous Alliance, WWE doesn't want to do that. They don't want to
Because you're at the right angle for Henry VIII there.
So rather than a spiritual sequel to Evolution or the Dangerous Alliance, WWE instead wants future stables to draw inspiration from this Heyman Breakker Rollins deal, right? Because they want them to be their own identity and all the rest of it. Is it what are we doing here? It's just a stable, isn't it?
It's good practice, isn't it, to stop saying we want the next evolution. It's like
I understand what they're doing. It felt like it got into league.
Yeah. All I was going to say in response,
it's just. I don't like any of it really. I think I'm not particularly inspired by it. I don't think Punk is either.
Well, in response to the Punk element of this, he's tons of evidence last year. He's a brilliant long-term story guy, and you track Punk by the long stories he tells, right? So the first one was his AEW comeback story. The second one was his MJF run, and so on. And on it goes. And it goes into WWE. And what was so great about his return was that every single interaction was like, is this to tease the long-term story? Is it going to be this one? Is it going to be this one? He's done it twice with Cody. When's that going to happen?
The Kevin Owens stuff, obviously that can't happen now.
But that's what they've been really smart with, is like every new interaction is a potential new long-term thing. The Seth one is just about out of juice. I think like we had the Drew one that transitioned into CM Punk's quest for the world title in the main event of WrestleMania, but it was obscure in the Seth one. We've gone full steam on Seth. Punk tried to in order to get out of doing it at WrestleMania. That failed. And here we are in May, and maybe this is where I kind of see where Sidge is coming from. We're sort of out of juice. The Sami Zayn one feels like it's on the horizon, and that's exciting all over again. And that's what Punk can offer you.
And they had a really good match as well.
They've
a
got
really strong match
in the bank already. Is like of what they can do together. And Sami's links to Kevin Owens, and Kevin Owens' problems with CM Punk. So there's all this like background stuff lingering, as well as I always say with CM Punk, the better stuff is the story they can tell on screen, not the backstage stuff that we're supposed to be a little bit. They get along. It's always better when they just make it a story. Yeah. And they're threading one here with Sami Zayn.
Do you want me to mention the Saturday Night's main event stuff? Because later on the show, they confirmed, it will be Punk and Zayn versus Rollins and Breakker at Saturday Night's main event. And Zayn met with Punk in the locker room. Punk admitted kind of having a hard time trusting anybody. And Zayn's like, I've been there. I remember struggling with trusting you at War Games, but that worked out pretty well. Look, I know I'm not stupid, said Sami. I know you like to do your own thing your own way. You've got goals and ambitions, but so have I. But let's be honest, the truth is neither of us are going to accomplish any of them with Rollins, Heyman, and Bron Breakker in the way. Let's take them out at Saturday night's main event, and they fist bump.
This is why I feel sort of like refreshed by the idea that maybe there's one more Punk Seth singles match, but that is, I know. Like, I'm less interested than I was even a week ago, but that is coming to an end, and they're now
Punk going to Smackers maybe in the draft.
I
Is there going to be a draft?
See that? Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be a draft or a shake-up.
He's not going to go to the SmackDown, you stupid slut. There's not going to even be a draft.
Why would he want to go there? Nobody wants
to go back to 2 hours now. It's fine.
Yeah. But
Punk and Road Dogg.
Oh,
that'd be funny.
With the boys again. No, this feels like the next long-term thing. It's already got a little bit of juice to it there.
Because Road Dogg was doing on his podcast, before Punk came back and everything when he was in AEW. Yeah, man, I don't even think it was that big a star.
Oh, yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah, and it's like, now you're working together because this always happens.
That the same week he said he was a better wrestler than Bret Hart.
Better sports entertainer.
Better sports entertainer.
Road Dogg.
Or DLWG. If this is the start, and it feels like at the start of the next long-term Punk story, and his things feel like you get 5 to 6 months of good stuff out of a Punk feud. This is a great one. Like, I still think Sami Zayn feels a lock for Money in the Bank. Increasingly so after a development on this Raw. Sorry, Judgment Days, he sort of distracted me there. But, I'm into this. I mean, they're transitioning away from Punk Seth and Punk versus the Heyman stable into something else, I think.
That's why I think he might be going to SmackDown. Cena's there as well.
I bloody hope so. I'm not convinced.
No.
I'm not convinced.
I think there's another Seth match, but they've got a gazillion friggin' shows to book them on as well.
What was the worst thing CM Punk did in what otherwise, bell to bell was his best year ever, 2013?
The worst thing he did?
He feuded with Paul Heyman.
Oh, the Ryback and Curtis Axel stuff, yeah. Aye.
I just remember him smacking him. Was on top of the cell with a kendo stick. It's like, that just for this. It's like, he can't fight back. Look at him. He's a walrus.
He didn't want to do...
Hey, their words, not mine.
He didn't want to do payoff stuff with Ryback, did he? He was sick of bumping for the Ryback.
I'd rather work with Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Tilts my pelvis.
Yeah, Wobbly Walrus, their words. They coined it on his birthday.
Happy birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday. I think it was his 60th or something. New character.
Got your present.
I'm not being funny. He's earned it over the years, and he a bit of a kick in Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman is ultimately like, if he booked a product that was considered bad or mediocre, he'd be up there with like the most evil, awful, vile men in pro wrestling history. He happened to book ECW in the SmackDown 6 and the Bloodline, so people like him. Yeah. It's amazing that, isn't it?
So after the initial thing with Punk and Sami and Jey and Seth's group, I should point out that Michael Cole has been calling all this alone. We're about to get Penta versus Chad Gable, I think after one of the entrances or maybe both. Let's go! Here comes Pat McAfee to come back out. He's only just finished getting cleared by medical.
Yeah.
Good to see him back. And then we got Penta versus Chad Gable, which is weird. I had a bit of a problem with this.
Let's talk about McAfee 1 second.
Yeah.
I think the whole heroes welcome.
Quite right.
48. Shut up, man. The whole.
I love that. You know what, Wilbourn? I don't think that's exactly where Sidge was going.
I
think he misjudged where he was going.
Really?
The whole heroes welcome, 48 hours later, fresh as a daisy, just reinforced my personal held belief that was just a really artificial thing that went down at Backlash.
Wasn't fresh as a daisy, but okay.
Oh, I mean, was he not fresh as a daisy? Did he have like a neck brace on?
There's no selling the injuries. He talked about just showed off his chest. He showed his bloodshot eye. So he's not fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, but he could do his job.
Struggled through this. Yeah, be powered through for the fans. Absolutely.
Okay, here's another thing. He was meant to be the big baby face. Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was welcome. Survived Gunther, and he stood up for Michael Cole, who was like the soul of the promotion. So he's a baby face. Yeah, he's a baby face. Yeah. And Gunther, if anything, teased a baby face turn. You have my respect, sir. Why was he doing the whole, no, there's two different people, Chad Gable and Grande Americano. If he's playing heel, why? I thought he was a big returning hero, babyface.
He's not. Well, he's not. He's confused as everyone else was. I was about to say in this match,
all of Penta's
matches, El Grande Americano inserts himself into it, and then just this one, no El Grande Americano. Just weird, man.
On the handshake, by the way, I really like that. It's nothing to do with Gunther turning babyface, and it's barely even saying Gunther showing him respect as a wrestler. I thought that was quite a nice. You know what? All right, like I'm sanctioning you to do your jobs as commentators. I was pissed off after what happened. I quite like that. I thought that Cole's whole deal was with like when he was like coughing and spluttering and Tess was out there. It was like we should be allowed to say that. We should be allowed to say to call what happened. You tapped out. You lost, and that was going to say right. Like I am this great professional that sees this a certain way. Go on then. Go back and do. I've kicked your ass, but go back and
now
do
it
job.
For Vic Joseph. Give him the respect he deserves.
What Gunther versus Vic Joseph?
What's that got to do with anything?
Gunther, please stop! Jesus Christ!
What the is Vic Joseph got to do with anything?
Help me, Buck! No!
What the hell are you talking about? Who the hell are you talking to?
So we get Penta versus Chad Gable. Chad Gable, not a fan of.
Sorry, I just remembered it on more than one occasion when Charlotte just stole Stephanie Paquette's move in broad daylight.
No, she has done it a few times, but.
Yeah, now Stephanie Paquette's got it over.
Yeah.
I'll be taking that back. They're doing it at WrestleMania. Where were you at WrestleMania, Stephanie Paquette? I know. Is it Charlotte or is it Tiffany Stratton? I can't tell because the dress are same. Where has Becky got her inspiration for this new character from?
Penta versus Chad Gable. Gable goes to the mask early. Penta tried to dive early, actually, on El Grande Americano. As Penta tries to dive, Gable hits him mid-air with a headbutt, which looked awesome. But it was quite similar to El Grande Americano, so a bit of an homage.
Yeah, it did look awesome, though.
Chad Gable. Penta makes a comeback after the break. Gable cuts him off with a bridging German suplex. Gable flies off the top, but Penta catches him with a code breaker. Gable hit a moonsault for 2, put him in an ankle lock, but Penta rolls out of it and hits a super kick. They fight on the ropes. And Penta shoves him off. Gable backflips, lands on his feet, but Penta immediately hits him with an awesome-looking Canadian distro, Panama Sunrise, basically. For the 1, 2, 3.
Well worked. Didn't raise this audience from their slumber. What do you want? Like, I've been critical of well worked on Wednesdays for years. I can't not be critical of well worked here.
And it wasn't as well worked.
the same in a way.
Nah, very
Like,
different. Not inferior.
Do you remember a wrestler called
Penta
Oscuro? You remember him?
Yeah, he's more exciting than this dude.
Same sort of stuff.
More exciting.
Same kind of stuff, but
more exciting.
More cauldron.
Well, yeah, in 2021 AEW, of course. Then this.
Yeah, same as a Wednesday match. I would also be bored by. That's the reality of this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
I don't think the work was as good. Look, I'll tell you what. This was absolutely bland.
Yeah.
There is a new bland, and we've talked about this over the course of the last however many years.
Blandio Castagnoli.
There is a new, and he's bland. There is a new level of good and bland and mediocre, and this was firmly within the new level of mediocre for me.
Yeah.
You got a destroyer. Big whoop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was really...
Don't feel like we've beaten this drum for a while, but when it shows its face, like stop it.
Yeah.
Stop being better than average.
And guess what? There was an even worse solid Complain match later on the night. Yeah. Oh my God, he's going to agree.
I agree.
I just missed...
Even Anne Louise looked over this morning and I went, what's going on? I was like, Finn Balor's fighting AJ. I assume it's Finn Balor and AJ Styles.
I was thinking of the tag match. A third solid.
Yeah.
Finn Balor and AJ. And she just went, they fighting again? And I was like, yeah, apparently.
So it is a criticism of the fans, but again, like sometimes it gets so loud that you're like, well, they're doing the job to a point. There's the idea, obviously, that a lot of the people coming to the shows now have gotten very excited for finishing sequence and can see the markers and are no longer investing in the early going. And it's like, well, that's what wrestlers learned to do all along. And I was like, you do this, then you do this, then you do this, and then you build them up for the finish. The fans are just like, where's my finish?
Yeah.
Where's my finish? Like, they weren't really coming up for those on this show. And when you can't get them there, you're not getting them with nothing. Nobody was getting nothing on this one.
No.
Too much enjoyment at the KFC Yum Centre.
I guess so.
What is a KFC Yum?
Feels like a particular kind of chicken serving that, like, we're not allowed.
Chicken ice cream or something.
Yeah.
Google it, actually.
KFC Yum.
You just keep talking. I'll keep Googling.
They have Crush'ems, don't they, KFC?
McDonald's have just launched, and I didn't get a chance to get one when we were there. You know, like the crispy chicken and the McCrispy.
Yes.
You can now get that as tendies.
Ooh.
I didn't get the opportunity to try that. But that seems like it can't miss.
Yeah.
If they do McSpicy ones, the McSpicy.
No.
Kicks your ass.
You're talking to me here. Come on.
It's really good, man.
The chicken sandwich, it's got a bit of a kick to it.
Whoa.
What's that? What's that tangy thing on my... Oh, it's mayonnaise.
Well, see, I can't talk yet, can I? I'm gonna crack mayonnaise as a 40-year-old. That's my goal between now and 41.
I'm there going, I can't wait to try the local delicacies of New Orleans, like Popeye's chicken.
Yeah.
Since its separation from PepsiCo in 1997, Yum Brands has seen numerous shifts in its brand portfolio through acquisitions and divestitures. Despite the changes, its three core pillars, Pizza Hut, KFC, and Taco Bell, have remained the foundation of the business.
That's my three pillars as well.
Yeah, what are your four fast food pillars?
Oh, let's go. Right, McDonald's.
Yeah, obviously.
Absolute, like the pillar, realistic,
MJF,
foundational.
Yeah.
Four pillars of my fast food. Do you know what? Yeah, I'm going to say Taco Bell. It's the newest pillar, but it's become the sturdiest.
Okay.
Like, it's the best. We have these things where, like, an American brand comes to the UK, and then they've taken all the fun out, and that's why it doesn't work. Taco Bell's the closest replication of an American brand, I think, of any of the ones we've got. So Taco Bell goes in as the most recent pillar. That leaves two in the middle. I'm going to go with Burger King because in the years when I was younger, when if you asked for a Mackey's without the relish on, it would take about 2 hours and you'd be left embarrassed and alone. Burger King stepped up with the XL bacon, which was just bacon, cheese, meat, bread. So Burger King. And I think it gets unfair digs by Domino's men, of which I know you're one, but I'm going to say Pizza Hut because the Pizza Hut buffet got me out of some real sticky situations in my life.
Hangovers.
Hangovers and being hungry. Hangovers and being hungry. But like, I like trying to be different currently, but I don't think I've made any secret of preferring greed, quantity, and pain over the satisfaction of taste. And the Pizza Hut buffet is there for you in that regard. Not just with the pizza, but with the ice cream factory and the pop. That's a triple threat. Pizza, ice cream, and unlimited refills. In this country especially.
Yeah.
You're not getting refillable pop many places, and Pizza Hut was...
Five Guys is one of them.
It is now, yeah, that's right. And they do their big bag of spuds they call chips.
Yeah.
You want some more chips? Fuck, drink chips. Those are my 4. McDonald's, Burger King, Pizza Hut, Taco Bell.
My junk food pillars are doner kebab. A doner kebab. I want one right now, actually. I wish I hadn't talked about this or had this conversation. Doner kebab, salad and chili sauce. A large Domino's pizza, because I feel like I could inhale them. Like that coating of...
It's not pizza, is it? It's something else.
It's something else.
Yeah.
Like the cheese and the toppings, I feel like you could just slurp that off and inhale that bit and then chew the actual dough and then back you go again.
Just like the double decadence. I used to love that.
I don't know.
2 bases with cheese in the middle.
Ooh.
Base. That was nice.
I don't think so. Either way, I don't like
You
that.
wouldn't need it.
I don't think I would need that. So
Limited time.
Cheeseburger base as
doner
well.
kebab, Domino's pizza. I love a McDonald's, man. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
My wife. So I don't really eat them anymore, but I love that. And then...
She works against scientific engineering despite being in the field of science.
I know.
They're in labs making McDonald's perfect for human consumption. She's like, well,
Not perfect,
I'm a
but like-
smarter doctor than that.
Yeah.
So like, not health wise.
Yeah,
I just mean
yeah.
in terms of like taste and addiction.
Getting you to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And fourth, I don't know, man. Don't know about my fourth junk food pillar.
What about you? Brands or particular foods?
McDonald's, yeah. Pizzas, I can kind of have both, to be honest. Like when people are like, "Oh, you got to pick one." No, I'll go Pizza Hut probably, but if you're going to order to Domino's, I'll get involved, obviously. My sort of little up and comer, because it takes me back to a lovely, when I used to go and see my mates in Nottingham for the weekend. So I'm going to go Maryland Chicken. I still love their little chicken. It was me usually pissed out my brain after going to Rock City.
Dixie chicken.
Yeah, exactly.
Dixie
the
chicken's
local
my
version of
fourth. I
that.
love Dixie chicken, man.
And then probably, the new entries.
Me and
prob-
Hamflett,
I know what you're going to say.
Me and Hamflett Hasselhoff the Dixie chicken in the
Oh,
Manchester
yes,
hotel
we
room
did.
after the live
I was
show.
about to what do you mean by Hasselhoff?
We were both just like, oh, God.
You're going to love their chicken from
I
Popeyes.
love Popeyes, man, in the Metro Centre. It's class.
Again, it's like you have one over there and then blows your dick off. And then you get an English one. That's all right.
Speaking of kebabs, I'll tell you about the chippy in the village. So the girl who works there is thick as pig, right? And she can't work out. She is proper thick because...
What village?
Well, I'm not going to specify. I don't want to get any strays from anyone. But
Unlike this girl,
Yeah.
who's been shot to death by you.
well, you go and it'd be like, I don't know, £7.10 or whatever, and I'd give her a £10 note and a 10 pence piece, and she'd look at me like I've just given her like alien money or something, because she couldn't just press £10 on the machine. So loads of times she'd give me the wrong money back or just be completely overwhelmed by it all.
Or just be nice to her and just give her the
I
credit.
know, come on. It's math. It's not that difficult. Math. But the one time she got it right, I was like, well done you, eh? Fair play. You've learnt to count after only 20-odd years of age. I got home and she'd accidentally given an entire doner kebab along with the meal. So,
So be nice to her.
no. Right.
She sounds like she's making the shot better to me. Like, getting more change back and getting...
No, it
extra
wasn't.
sleep.
It wasn't. No. It was a complete lottery what you'd leave with, to be honest. Fixed it now, though. She's been sacked. Right. Pre-tape. I don't know. Not been for ages. The pre-tape promo by Roxanne Perez and Giulia, who looks set for the main roster, to be honest.
Shut your mouth. Look like they need more training on the back of that main event.
The future starts tonight.
Is it because the past resumes tomorrow? Well, today, in fact, because they'll probably be on NXT, mate.
Mr. Facts. Strictly speaking, in fact.
Yeah.
Let me talk to you about the past and the future. 1-0 Sidgwick.
We see Kofi Kingston going to the Louisville Slugger Museum. And then we go to the clubhouse. This was really funny. There was, I did like Carlito chatting to Raquel, who's talking about Liv Morgan. Carlito's completely ignoring, going, yeah, we could hang out. Use your credit card if you want. Dom comes in. They ask how Liv is. She's off shooting the movie. But he's a bit confused because she said good morning, but it was nighttime where they are. So they had to explain It was all this madness about time zones. Dom has a little quiet word with Finn, though, saying, bit hesitant using the old chair at Backlash. Almost cost me the IC title. And Finn, I like the callback to this. He's like, you're getting paranoid like Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest when they were part of the Judgment Day. What's wrong with you? Everything's worked out. You're still the IC champion. Taps the belt, leaves his hand on it a little bit too long, but he says he's going to take care of AJ Styles later.
This is going nicely. Dominic Mysterio's babyface turn is going nicely. Just the earnest affection that little bastard has for his partner, Liv Morgan, it's becoming sweet, and that's what they want you to think.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, because it wasn't a focused upon thing, but it's the old Triple H thing, later on when it was Finn Bálor and Roxanne Perez again, wasn't it?
Like, lots of stuff happening in the background on this show.
Well,
oh boy,
I'll tell you later.
God, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't you tell me I saw it. They make it abundantly clear that you're supposed to be looking at that thing.
Must be on my phone.
It's the second time Finn Balor's been spotted with Roxanne Perez, and this is how, if you remember, Liv Morgan ended up in the Judgment Day in the first place. It was Finn Balor colluding with Liv Morgan because he'd spotted that Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley had
Give her a lift to the arena, mate. What's the problem?
taken it over. And he was like, I can use Dominic Mysterio with Liv Morgan to get them out, and then Judgment Day will all be mine. And look what's happened. It's still not his. It's become Dominic and Liv's. And he's like, right, I'm going to have to do it again. And he's going to use Roxanne Perez, I don't know what, presumably to try and break up Dom and Liv, maybe?
Raquel
or just
and
like the
Liv?
new, he's like, you've been wanting a new member for ages, and I've got one. And did you notice what Roxanne was wearing tonight?
No.
She was dressed just like Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Look at that match.
Oh, yes.
So that's Finn Balor's Egyptian, and Roxanne. I think this might work. Maybe I'll join the Judgment Day. I got you a new member. That's what you wanted, wasn't it? A new member to stir up bother, and I think this is going swimmingly. All this sort of stuff.
You enjoy the time zone shtick?
Yeah.
Thought not. Recap of Gunther killing McAfee showing off his various injuries, and then we see the Zayn and Punk backstage thing, and then we get the tag match with New Day on commentary. That was a complete mess. Cole saying that what was it he said? The winner of this match could earn a future title shot.
Aye.
Everyone could.
For the company that rightfully so gets pelters for laying it on thick with telling you what's happening and when and how it's happening. This was one of those cases where nobody seemed to know their ass from their elbow and just said stuff and hoped it was correct.
It's a bit later when I think it was in a break, so that arguably didn't really happen to certain audiences. But there was a bit with Theory and Waller being like, "Oh, I've got your match against Sheamus," and then later on, Sheamus was like, "Can I have a match against Waller?"
Yeah.
It was weird that. Anyway,
Pierce was like a capital idea or whatever it was. He said, "That sounds great."
they had the idea about 2 hours ago, mate.
Yeah. Come on, guys.
Maybe
Tighten up.
But yes, all part of this really interesting ongoing storyline about the Waller and Theory breakup. War Raiders, Creed brothers.
Do you remember the Creeds? Do you remember the Creeds?
Nah, not really.
What the hell happened to this business?
Julius hits a big dive to take us to a break early on in the match. When we come back, Ivar makes a comeback, but Julius hits him with a superplex, and Brutus follows that with a moonsault for 2. Ivar hits a black hole slam, brings in Eric, who hits 2 Northern Light suplexes. Brutus avoids the spinning heel kick and hits the nice looking Olympic slam, to be fair. And Ivar tries to do that double handspring elbow thing that he does. The Creeds catch him out of the air and slam him. Eric breaks up the cover, tries to psych up Ivar, but gets distracted by Xavier and Kofi are on commentary. And in amongst all this, the referee's distracted. Kingston attacks Ivar as he goes up top, allowing the Creeds to hit that Brutus ball finisher of theirs and get the 1-2-3. New Day run off, very happy with themselves. Senator!
It's not a big win just because you say it is. This was that thing where the Creeds have got it done. We don't do bits, but if we did, we'd probably say something like, well, now that they've beaten the Viking Raiders, they're probably in line for a shot against it. It doesn't feel like they've made any progress.
Oh, no.
It doesn't feel like this division is alive.
Stuck in place.
There's a hierarchy or anything like that. It barely even feels like that on SmackDown, and the division just had one of the matches of the year. Right? They're not doing the hard work.
It's doing some stuff, aren't they?
They're just doing some stuff. You've got to tell stories. I wish Pritchard hadn't bastardized that on Conrad all those years ago, because it's true. These characters need development. There needs to be angles, and there needs to be a sense of like advancement in the world. It's just matches where nobody, like, wins feel like draws.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like progression. Yeah, the Creeds.
It's like those mid-table end of the season. Yeah. Well, Wolves are playing
Fulham.
Oh yeah, Wolves are playing Fulham. Right?
Yeah.
Who cares? There's no bearing on anything.
But then, like, somebody will tell you, oh yeah, but like Wolves are looking to finish 10th instead of 11th because there's an extra £1 million on the line, and that means what to me ever.
Yeah.
That's what this is. Like, they're going to get a shot at the New Day. Well, I haven't been told to care about that either, really. I quite like the New Day. I like seeing that the New Day come to work each week and try and add a little something, a little sizzle to the streak. But the division on its ass.
Yeah.
The old Sidgwick horse.
Has there ever been any really good, like real damn good plot development, story turn with tag team wrestling? ECW was good at it to a degree.
I thought it was like in the recent era.
I mean, like the reason why like the most celebrated tag team programs of yore were so celebrated is that you can get away with, let's do it in a different territory.
Yeah.
We'll run that in a different territory, and then we'll come back to the Carolinas and do it again. I don't know, man. Like,
I hate to do it, but it's the one everybody celebrates, isn't it? It is the Edge, Christian, Hardy's, Dudley's stuff. Like, Edge and Christian were characters that inspired. Yeah. The Brian Gee words, buying him a comic so they get TV time. But the point was they were characters that actually inspired creative writing, and thus you got stories. Yeah. Like, I don't know.
AEW's tag team division for 2 years was really strong, but
I think they had it when like the Judgment Day had the belts. Like, I think that like that kind of did inspire. They felt like a main event act that happened to be tag champions. So it was like, right, we'll build stuff around.
A lot of it historically has been match based more so than your big massive rivalries between like Rock and Austin and Hogan Savage. Yeah.
I
know there were tag team matches involved as well, but it was a different thing. So
it was
really
New Day, but that was very much like
a
on
lot
the
of that
undercard.
was match based. They had that famous segment.
Yeah.
Angle.
Well, it was. It was like this like never-ending war between the only two teams that survived this dreadful era. Type.
The vast majority of, other than isolated examples of really well-received tag team programs, you remember the matches more than the angles. 10 times out of 10. And the problem is that these are like 2 and 3/4 star specials where it's like, did anything go disastrously wrong? No. Was anything amazing? No. Were there some cool moves to elevate it one single notch above completely and utterly bang average? Maybe. I can't believe this is still happening and I have to watch it.
They meet in Seth's locker room, do Breakker and Heyman, and he's pissed off, obviously. Bron Breakker is just fizzing at this point. Says, look, Punk and Zayn have got one over on us on tonight. They might think that they're winning the battle. Maybe they think that I've underestimated them. They've got no idea of what I'm capable of. And then he whispers something in Bron's ear, something he still wants to do tonight, and tells him to have fun with it. This
has reminded me, he's often quietly amazing at Twitter, Kevin Owens. Did you see what he tweeted? So he's watching Punk and Sami, ostensibly, tweet gross. And obviously you can infer from that. But that is his own tribute to Sabu, because the tweet was doing the rounds where he quote tweeted Stephanie and Triple H together. Yeah. Gross. Full stop. That's a doubler. Yeah. Doubler from KO. That's good stuff. Yeah. And then we saw Adam Pearce chatting to Jey Uso backstage, but again, this was all about Bálor chatting to Roxanne Perez in the background. And then just before Jey Uso comes out to yeet with everybody in the KFC Yeet Center, more like, they remind us that they did loads of views on Logan Paul attacking Jey on the thing from last week after the show ended.
Who's going to win that match after tonight's show? I think it's Jey Uso.
I'd quite like to see Gunther versus Logan Paul, to be honest. But
actually, I get but no, it's predictable.
Yeah, they really TK'd
it. Jey comes out, yeets with everybody. Does you do it? Do it one more time. It says there's a big target on his big back, so he wants to get something off his big chest.
Thought this promo was meant to be good. That's what I read on X.
Logan Paul was talking out the side of his mouth by claiming he wasn't championship material, but instead Paul's ducking him and sneaking him. So Saturday night's main event, face-to-face, the two of them. Jey called himself the Arena Shaker, said he'd still be world champion after Saturday night's main event. Out comes Gunther, and the crowd chant, "You tapped out at him." And Gunther says, the unimaginable came true. Jey Uso, World Heavyweight Champion. Notes that obviously this is their first time together since that happened. And Jey sort of clarifies that fact. The crowd chant it again. Gunther said, Jey, I understand what you're doing here. I know what it's like to be a champion. I mean, 80% of my time in this company, I've been a champion. I understand there's a lot of pressure on you. But just because I understand doesn't mean my opinion of you changed. And he had some news. The winner of the match at Saturday night's main event will face Gunther. I've done the math, Calvin Trigg. The Raw after Money in the Bank, June 9th, Phoenix, Arizona. He said, Jey, I really do hope it's you because I'd love nothing more to just shut you and all the other people up for good. I'd love nothing more to get in the ring with you, outclass you, and remind you where your place is. And Jey sort of fires up here and says, I'm in the place I should be, World Heavyweight Champion. I ran this place, and I'll walk out of our match just like I did at WrestleMania. World Heavyweight Champion. 4 letters, 1 word. Yeet.
So I love this, but going to have some fun with you guys. So a bit of fantasy booking fun, and then a bit of conspiracy fun.
Oh, double your fun.
I'm going to give you a conspiracy corner for a bit.
Yeah. Doodle conspiracy corner.
Fantasy booking fun. So Sami Zayn wins Money in the Bank.
So many bits lost in time, like tears in the rain.
Yeah.
Thanks.
If only we did them.
I know.
Thanks again to Matt Steele for keeping track of these sorts of
Yes,
things.
thank you.
Of which there is nothing to keep track of.
Yes.
It's an empty spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Of which there is nothing to keep track of. You already said of.
Thank you. Sami Zayn wins.
Right.
Imagine that. Like Jey Uso Gunther is the world champion, grueling Raw main event, and Sami Zayn's got the briefcase now. There's the first teaser of the teasers to come, because Sami Zayn kind of quietly wants that world title, and he loudly wants the world title, but quietly he'd happily take it off Jey Uso. So there you've got that going forward, and Gunther's the guy that he's beaten before, so there's that. That's quite nice, isn't it? However, what's even nicer for the people of Arizona is to be given the choice as consumers to choose between the 2 big wrestling shows taking place a week apart in their state and city. Do they go to Monday Night Raw with a World Heavyweight title following Money in the Bank, or do they go stupid Double or Nothing? I just found it pretty interesting that they've just nailed that together. They've nailed a main event like already for a Raw in Arizona.
It's very rare that they say
following a PLE with pretty significant ramifications. It's just like, it's normally a decisions place to nail this one, but it just struck me. It was like, that's odd.
When is Double or Nothing?
Like the week before Money in the Bank. So like times are tough. You're going to pick a wrestling show.
Oh, that's NXT Battleground and Saturday Night's main event weekend. Why have they booked themselves on that one?
Silly, bad planning, but they are where they are. And I just found that interesting.
Jesus.
It's like, we need that could just be totally me. It's like,
What are they so afraid of?
We need a Raw main event. Which Raw? What town on the map should we? That one. When is it? It's a week after their pay-per-view.
It's intensifying this, isn't it?
Yeah.
They know that AEW's making a little bit of noise. But they're not drawn that many. They're not even drawn, really,
We clocked it
AEW.
with the first bash in Berlin. It was like Europeans, is it?
Yeah. Because we met some mainland Europers.
Yeah.
Lovely people that we met on the first All In. And like they've got like the choice now to make.
Don't get yourself across seas and oceans. There's one in the mainland. Just treat yourself to Gunther in the main event. It's just Wembley. Everybody's been at Wembley. Wembley.
I hate them.
English food. Go Berlin. That's what they do. That's what they're doing all the time. That's what they live for. Live for the fight. That's the grind. That's what Triple H is on about.
It's a dickhead. They're all dickheads.
I could be wrong.
Dickheads with their boring, derivative, uninspired slop.
But it's quite nice and Money in the Bank. Having a world title match immediately when somebody's got the
I like that,
briefcases.
yeah.
That's interesting.
Because it's March. So it says on my calendar May, but the content of the show is Marchy.
Marchy Night Raw, more like. February Night SmackDown.
The Marchy of infamy. Was that anything?
Wrestle Marchy.
Well, what do you make of all this?
What are you talking about?
Jey and Gunther and...
I don't need to see this poor match ever again. I will say, they're not... I don't think they've beaten Gunther twice, so there's some drama and there's some unpredictability to this. But, my God, as I said, it's May, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Not March.
No, definitely not.
So what we're doing here. But no, I mean, die.
This is where Goldberg shows up.
Well,
That's
I
got to
mean,
be factored into it all.
He is going to be out there with the new Master of the Spear, Jey Uso.
Yes.
Yeah, they do
Well,
like...
ticket.
Be wary, though. Be careful, because if you're thinking, all right, well, Jey Uso will still be champion. Because Gunther can wrestle Goldberg without the belt. They love putting belts where they don't necessarily belong. There must be some kind of business reason, because we always say, I doesn't need the belt. And they're like, no, Bálor does. So Gunther Goldberg for the belt. SummerSlam.
Yeah, like, I don't mind Gunther winning the world title back, I suppose.
How many adverts are you going to put on that show if Goldberg's in the main event? They're going to Broadway, is it?
Shout out to our friends at WWE Wait Times. That's one of my favourite accounts. It's really, really funny. It just like pisses so many people off. There's a lot of bad idiots, but they're good crack.
They're just stating the facts.
It's like,
You like are all about that, OTJ.
Yeah.
So,
What?
I don't know.
So after this, we had a nice tribute to Sabu, and during a break, I think this was there's a row with the tag teams doing a triple threat now.
yeah.
Completely pointless match earlier on. And there's Jackie Redmond tries to interview Ludwig Kaiser in the back. A long time since we've seen him, and we didn't really hear from him, to be honest, because Jey Uso has been taken out by Bron Breakker.
Maybe a bit obvious, maybe a bit petrol-y. Is he the third man? Because they're making a big thing about how like he gets no opportunity whatsoever, and this was like a funny take on that. Well, what's your out of the way, yo? Like it's becoming this increasing frustration of Ludwig Kaiser.
Heyman's hyperbole could be useful for a Ludwig Kaiser type character.
Yeah.
Didn't expect us to do that, did you?
No, that threw me.
Sir!
Like is that why he's been placed next to this Bron Breakker?
Maybe. Good theory.
As opposed to Austin. It was a bad theory.
Yeah.
Leave Stone Cold out of this. AJ Styles versus Finn Balor with JD McDonough and Carlito at ringside. References to Bullet Club during this. So,
Oh, yeah.
JD McDonough caused a distraction early on as Styles was dominating, and they drop each other as we go to a break. When we come back, Styles hits a superplex. They trade some strikes. Styles catches a Pele kick, or an attempt from a Pele kick from Balor, puts him in a calf crusher. Balor gets a rope break. Sling blade drop kick, but Styles avoids the coup de grace. Styles tries for a calf crusher. Balor tries to fight out of it, gets hit with a Styles clash. Carlito jumps on the apron, as does, I think, McDonough. Styles knocks down McDonough, but all these distractions allow Balor to hit a elevated reverse DDT. Then Penta appears to take out the Judgment Day. He also leaps off McDonough to hit Carlito with a Canadian Destroyer, and Styles hits Balor with a phenomenal forearm for the 1-2-3. Senator!
Who could possibly care about this?
Well, this is it, right? This is the best advert for the Young Bucks you'll ever see, because you cannot deny the effective job they do when crowds are going insane. You could call it a spot fest, you can call it flippy, whatever, but like when the crowd goes nuts for it, you're like, well, that's been effective in that building on that night. This was the opposite of that. Like all of it was the opposite of that. There's just moves happening in front of you by two of the kind of biggest purveyors of those types of matches in all of WWE.
WWE has been referencing the history of Balor and Styles in Bullet Club for way longer than Balor and than Devitt and Styles were in Bullet Club combined. No one really in the WWE audience or fan base at this point, with this new set of fans, knows what the Bullet Club is. Even fewer of them care. This match was completely boring. Wrestled between a guy who in the ring just don't got it no more and doesn't care to get it in a singles match anyway, Finn Balor. AJ Styles, who's washed. Unable to... I always thought like AJ Styles' in-ring legacy is always going to be... He's never got that punk thing where his mind is so sharp that he can do awesome stuff even though his body's failing. Like AJ Styles and like proper main event craft and emotion don't really exist. Like he needs a physique. He needs to be dynamic. Otherwise it's just dull as Dull as And I'm telling you now, I find it wild that they do this and they reference their history, and like this is so tedious. Audience of no one, and yet the most people are watching. I'm baffled by the existence of this match and completely bored and detached from the experience of it. What are we doing here? I don't know. I never know, man. Their original great match. Great match that if Move for Move was wrestled on a New Japan show in 2017?
Yeah.
Would have been one of the, maybe the top, maybe it would have cracked the top 75, maybe. Was 8 years ago. Jesus Christ.
That's the same length as Hogan's first run in WWE.
I know.
That's the whole.
I'm not saying like there's an automatic thing of, after 8 years your time's up. Obviously, I'm not saying that, but for these lads, it is.
Do you know what? I've been noticing, right? I always pick the wrong lane with pro wrestling, always. And in the early 2000s, when I simply could not stand Triple H's reign of terror.
I'm going to get on the AEW highway right now because we are going fast.
We're driving down it. We're driving down a safe but fast speed. We're 70 in a 70. We're not passing anybody. We're not falling behind anybody either.
Yeah.
We're getting there on time. It's a dual carriageway. There's plenty of space. The Ring of Honor TNA divide is that exact divide between the wrestlers who were developing and learning a way that would constantly change, evolve, develop, and stick. And the TNA guys were the influencers who ultimately would kind of run out of steam a little bit. AJ Styles, Bobby Roode, the Motor City Machine Guns, like wrestlers that I adored, loved, and felt like they were kind of the future and what I wanted and what I wasn't getting from WWE, against a Punk, a Danielson, a Joe, Briscoes. Same wrestlers developing at the same time that seemed like the innovators, the game changers, all that. And look at that side of the ledger whose work survived versus still doing that.
Yeah.
Like, yep, yes, you are my favorite wrestlers.
What else you got?
But what else you got? Like these ones over here kind of keep showing you what else they've got. I'm not even a Joe guy, but like he does argue his place in these AEW main events with enough people. And then, Punk and Danielson and the like. It's really laid bare, isn't it? What those developmental years were in those companies that were trying to be the alternative and what they've been like left with.
Yeah.
The nice wrestlers doing the wrestling.
Yeah.
The ones that could still kind of kick your ass and make a difference.
AJ Styles is just overrated, I think.
I think he's rated. I think there's a nice average.
His prime is unbelievable.
Yeah. And I think that's like I don't watch the Motor City Machine Guns and like scream at the telly like I would have done once upon a time.
Yeah.
Just like I do it with AJ Styles, but you remember that you did.
Yeah.
And loads you've said it, like a lot of wrestling now was adept to AJ Styles.
Oh, Christ,
But
what else you got?
what else you got?
Saw a great,
Thanks for the business.
Saw a great clip of AJ on X yesterday where he was talking, I think it's Chris Van Vliet, about being in TNA, and like you say, there's best stuff there. And I think it was something big off the top rope in old TNA. I think it was an angle slam. It doesn't really matter. Mm-hmm. He took one of them from Kurt Angle and went, "Never do that to me ever again, please." Kurt was like, "Okay, fair enough." Cut to four-sided TNA ring. They do the move again. And AJ Styles having been like, "No, goddamn six-sided TNA. See, six-sided drink TNA. They're coming and changing stuff." Took that and was like, maybe four sides ain't so bad after all, actually.
It didn't hurt as much.
Yeah. Just rock hard because of all the different beams underneath.
Freaking hard.
Freak.
We see Becky Lynch coming out to make a promo or walking through the back, but eagle-eyed viewers will have also noticed Karrion Kross.
I was on my phone.
Giving some T-shirts to the New Day. So.
She did. What are they?
It's a nice bit, that as well, because he did that video where he's the top seller on the merch at the moment, or he's like he said we're getting more stock in. This was somewhat unexpected. We're getting more stock in. I love the idea that he's taken the last few to give out to the people he's trying to curb.
Becky Lynch come out to cut a promo then, saying, well, she basically questioned reality. She said, "I wasn't beating a Backlash. Lara Valkyrie was, because you might not believe that, but I didn't go to the hospital. I went to my big bus, had a shower and a glass of tequila. while basking in my own brilliance. Everything that Valkyria did to me, attacking my character for weeks, I brought out the best in her, gave her the best match of her career. Valkyria's never mattered more than she has right now. She realized now how she was manipulated by not only Valkyria, but also each and every one of you. Walked away for almost a year because the fans effectively asked her to. She wasn't there to win a title. There's no point. And she saw the reaction after the last time she won a world title. She's always been someone for the people. You have to thank them for her career. Obviously talked about them seeing themselves in her and being in this together. And then she won. And they were all a bunch of losers and they couldn't take it anymore, basically, and hated her for what they couldn't understand. She was asked if she missed it while she was gone, and she missed being in the ring, but she likes herself a lot more now because she doesn't have to listen to what the fans tell her and say what she's about.
Those fans.
She's all changed from here on out. From now on, whatever you say I am. Selfish, yes. Greedy, yes. Cutthroat, yes, I am. All the girls in the back who were happy I was gone and thought they were safe are finally going to find out what it feels like to be held down by the man.
I like this a lot.
I like that line.
Well, I like what more than the each and every one of you and all that sort of crap. I like a lot of what this character is. There's allusions to what people think of Charlotte Flair. But from last week, I think I mentioned this on one of the other reviews, they're building a big, or they're attempting to build a big, it might not be big on the night, but they are attempting to build a very big Becky Lynch and Bayley match.
Yeah.
And what they know about what we know is that these are blatantly the best two in the locker room ever. They want to give and give and give and give. And then they've folded that very nicely into the fiction by Becky attacking Bayley to take her out of WrestleMania, right when Bayley does the interview with Chris Van Vliet, where there's a lot of truth to, she might have been working a bit, but a lot of truth to the, what is it that has never allowed me to be on the level of the other three horsewomen? So that's all floating around in the ether. I think this is a really nice use of what we know about them in real life and then playing with that a little bit and fictionalizing it for this one kind of last big horsewoman clash that we've never really explored in any sort of like major way. Becky and Bayley is one of those combinations that has never had the stage that Bayley and Sasha had, or Becky and Charlotte had, or Charlotte and Sasha had. This
is that going to be SummerSlam or Evolution 2?
One or the other.
Yeah.
And they know that, and they want to set the stage as big as possible.
It's the Feds or both, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, yes.
Maybe. Trilogy stuff. Yeah.
Oh, now you're talking my language, baby.
And yeah, then like, and for me, one of the biggest red flags of idiot online is the phrase Becky Hogan. You think that or tweet that and that's it.
Ignore those people.
Yeah, but that's it. It's like, she knows that's out there. Why not play up to that? Because like Bayley tweeted that picture of taking all the release wrestlers out for dinner. These are the best. These are the two best. How would you try and fake that and fictionalize it and make something out of it? And that's what they're doing. I like this.
I thought the outline was good. Not all of the material was great. Becky has got that, because she's always on the precipice of cringe. The cusp of cringe. Yeah. But there are few better than Becky at emphasizing the right words at the right times. She gets the rhythm of this promo game better than most. And it's about time, I guess, that this whole, I'm not here to make anyone, why is this a thing now in wrestling? This new, like, really hypocritical deal of, we're not going to be like the old generation, and Punk's obviously, how many times has he lost since August 2021? How many times has he lost since August 2021? And how many times has he said, I'm just here to work with the young people? Maybe it's been a heel trade for a few years, and good on Becky for just finally playing that character. We've had it, done it ironically. Obviously, it's Chris Jericho who doesn't know how to be earnest if his life depended on it. But an earnest version of that heel trade, go for it. She's saying, I'm not going to make someone, but she's going to be the one to actually make someone. You'd think anyway, because this Lyra thing's going quite well.
Yeah.
On the Becky Hogan thing, one quick thing. I agree 99%.
All these people who are saying it have literally never watched a Hulk Hogan match.
Yes.
So just disregard.
The one instance I will allow was the funny meme over WrestleMania weekend where it was Brett and Hulk and Becky and Bayley's faces on each other.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't do it. You better go and take the match.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. We get a Rusev video package. He'd rather his brothers fall by his hands than fall into the abyss. And then Akira Tozawa.
What? What does that mean?
Don't go to AEW. Akira Tozawa asked...
why not? Because it's done Got him a new contract and a push.
After a while, in the abyss. Akira Tozawa wants a match against Rusev, but there's, after what happened with Otis, there's Maxine Dupree there and Natalia.
No!
Oh, God.
No!
I thought that was the Bloodsport music.
Okumte.
Yeah, bless you. Pierce says Akira Tozawa's not cleared. Sheamus shows up and says he wants a match against Grayson Waller that's already been booked.
This is Tony Khan's AEW. Everyone would be going mad.
It's garbage. Like, I suppose Sheamus and Rusev is a ray of light, maybe.
You know what's unrealistic about Raw? That 2 separate characters would say this was a good idea, an Austin Theory match.
How very droll. It's funny because it's true.
It was a Grayson Waller match, actually.
Yeah.
Either way, they're bullshit, aren't they?
Teasing out Sheamus and Rusev for whatever. Like,
They're buddies.
They're going to hit each other real hard. Yeah,
And they're buddies to the will.
They're buddies for now.
I mean, I'd watch that.
Yeah, it's got like they're going to hit each other out really hard. So, again, what? Who doesn't anymore? Everybody's hitting each other really hard.
Not on the Fed, it's very light.
Yeah.
Very light
It's supposed
indeed.
to be to work. Sheamus and Rusev. Sheamus and Rusev
So suspended disbelief, mate.
is what you're being instructed to get excited for, and if that's your crap, good for you. I'm over Rusev already.
Hamflett's like, all these AEWers coming in. That's why he's in a mood.
Close the door to the abyss.
Yeah, you don't want any more signings, do you?
To be absolutely fair to me, this is not an AW thing. I didn't want the TNA people last year.
Yeah.
Too many
All
new
those
wrestlers.
Jaguars coming in.
Taking their jobs. They should be doing jobs on Saturday.
He's in a mood.
It's like, I remember where Sid was. Stop hiring feathers. Too many feathers.
Get the Feders the hell out.
Feathers don't want to take jobs. Like, we're here. Like, stop it. Boring. They're boring.
Yeah, I hate jumps now.
Yeah, I don't like jumps.
I don't like anything that's done so often that it used to be cool and it makes me feel dead inside.
Yeah.
I'm already
It's okay. It comes around again. Like, jumps get exciting again. They do. But it's just the rosters don't need... The rosters on both sides do not need shaking up. There's a load of wrestlers.
Yeah.
What else you wrestlers got?
What else you got?
Yeah. It's fine. Like, I think they're telling you that Rusev's just... He's not yet Andrade, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Main event time. It was Rhea Ripley and Io Sky teaming up to take on Roxanne Perez and Giulia. And yeah, like you say, Perez dressed similar.
Where are we, Louisville, Kentucky?
Yes.
They don't like nothing.
Nice spot to take us to a break. Perez slapped Rhea Ripley in the face, then got chased around by that. Giulia tried to jump off and attack Rhea Ripley, but Ripley caught her. Perez drop kicked Ripley into the steel steps. Sky hit a suicide dive, and then Giulia hit Sky with a shotgun drop kick to take us to a break. Hot tag to Rhea Ripley when we come back.
Sorry, I'm not good on my phone for anything. I just need to research some facts.
Okay.
Talking about facts.
Rhea hit a razor's edge on Roxanne Perez to get a 2 count, but Perez fights back, hits a Hurricane Runner off the top for 2 on Rhea Ripley. Giulia hits a vertical suplex on Rhea, and Perez hits a middle rope moonsault for 2. Sky gets the hot tag, missile drop kick. They all trade moves. Sky hits a moonsault, but Perez breaks up the cover. Ripley sort of elevated Sky into a drop kick to take out Giulia. Sky takes out Perez with a springboard drop kick 2. Giulia trips Rhea off the apron and then hits a nice-looking avalanche butterfly suplex on Io Sky and a brain buster, but Rhea has to break up the cover. And then Rhea pushes Sky out of the way of a Perez flying crossbody, and Perez accidentally takes out her partner, Giulia. And Ripley hits Giulia with a riptide as Sky takes care of Perez to get the 1, 2, 3. Io and Rhea celebrate, but as they are posing to end the show, Rhea cannot take her eyes off that world title.
This was decent. I thought...
Thank you for not saying it was this great match of the year candidate let down by a crowd. Thank you for that.
It was decent.
Yeah.
I thought I really enjoyed Roxanne Perez doing a Liv Morgan tape study. Like the cut-offs with Rhea Ripley were terrific. I thought Rhea Ripley put in a selfless performance here. This was a really like earnest effort to help get these new heels over. Like watch how Rhea Ripley bumps in this match. She is taking stuff, like off Roxanne Perez in particular. She is doing everything she can to make the offense look credible. Take a beating. Rhea Ripley's underrated at taking a beating because so often she's presented as like the monster of a match. But think about some of the best Rhea Ripley matches. She comes out looking like she's been in a car accident or something, like the hair's everywhere, just like an arm hanging off, that sort of stuff. And I thought she was doing that in the body of a Raw TV main event, ultimately.
I thought I was going to be annoyed by this finish because I thought, Julia gets the win to set up a match. But then I was like, oh no, Rhea gets the win to set up.
Rhea
I'll watch that again.
Time, yeah. Giulia wants to watch herself because already she's found herself as the lesser of two new people when she kind of came in around the same time as Stephanie Vaquer, and it's happening again with her as a heel with Roxanne Perez. And like, that's just the way it goes. Stephanie Vaquer and Roxanne Perez are probably a little bit better than Giulia right now, but that's twice that you've been put in that position, and pretty quickly nobody likes the term, but pretty quickly people are going to be like saying, oh, she's a Marty Jannetty, whoever she's with. I don't, you know what I'm saying there? Yeah. Like it's unfortunate because Giulia's got loads to offer.
She had one of the best women's matches in the
Yeah, against Jordan Grace, but that's twice in quick succession in the high profile spot. She's kind of looking like the lesser than. Yeah. And that's not ideal.
Yeah.
God, I thought Roxanne Perez.
They've been literally inviting comparisons to her since day one.
Yeah, it's not on really, but like
day one-ish.
Roxanne Perez and Rhea Ripley here in particular, I thought had really good nights. It's decent.
That was decent to solid.
Are people doing backflips for it? Like,
I saw the odd thing on Twitter which indicated that was really good, let down by a crowd. I don't know. There was some nice creative double teams and like, I was going to do the move on you, but no, I've been outweighted by the babyface spots. And it was decent. The crowd, it was not a good week for Io Sky. Not trying to like do a catastrophe thing, but when she was doing a thing, like she was really trying too hard with it.
Yeah.
She was trying too hard to keep it as a thing and to get fans to react to it. Like, and you saw like the first few rows kind of do it half-heartedly. I'm like, stop, maybe don't do it as much this night, okay? The odd high spot got and then just dead silence. Really grim watch. Got it, man. Are rats common in Kentucky? Rats are extremely common animals to have near your home, and there are different species you should know about if you think you might have an infestation, including but not limited to, Kentucky is home to the Norway rat. Ooh, also known as the brown or sewer rat. Sewer rat.
Pug rat.
The Allegheny wood rat, a squirrel-sized rodent, is also native to eastern Kentucky, so one of them was probably pissing on cotton.
Big ass rat,
pissing on cotton. Because that's all I could hear during this match.
Well, let us know your thoughts on this main event and on the entirety of Monday Night Raw in the comment section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, you can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick. Senator. Follow Michael Sidgwick at
M. Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. As I said, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. We'll be back later on today to preview NXT. But for now, this has been the Raw review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.